Hey guys, Susanna here. Well, we're back for another prompt, and I'm doing a Santa. I'm gonna just zoom that in before I sit down. Maybe there. Put it up. There we go. Okay, now I'll just sit down, and before I start with that, I'll show you my finished. I still haven't sewn them in. It gets slacker towards the end of the year. I'll show you my finished bird, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think some of you saw it on Instagram. Yeah, it's so gorgeous, really pretty. So it's stitching along there, and then just did some the tree, and it's really 3D, quite textural. So we have only, after this one, there's only 2 more left. So I got this piece from I inherited heaps of threads and fabrics and everything from a lady that a friend of mine, her friend, you know, that the lady had passed away, and she had all this quilty stuff and all that kind of things in it, and a few Christmassy stuff which I actually have used in my bits and pieces, you know, stuff like this, like she's, you know, Berry Christmas and stuff that she's done. And I did have other Santas, but I thought, look, I think, I mean, I never knew the lady, but she's a sister quilter, and a sister, you know, like so I cut that out to have the right size. The only thing is that this was a candy cane, and now I've got to try and make it into something else. But I thought I would honour her memory by finishing off her piece with, you know, with the Santa and all that kind of stuff. I'll add a few little bits and pieces on there. I've had a bit of a blank spot, so I thought I'm gonna just put that there and add Merry Christmas. And I've got these ribbons. When will I use the ho ho apart from with Santa? And I sort of don't really like how they're in a pot, so I thought if I do that, it sort of takes away from the fact that it was a pot. Now I just have to figure out, maybe I can turn that into a sled. I don't know, I have no idea. So yeah, maybe, you know, in the comments, if you can give me an idea of what I could probably turn that into. It could be a toy, maybe turn it into a toy, something like a skateboard, I don't know. So he's in there with the little reindeer, and this is an angel by the looks of it, and his arms around her, and I just love it. I think it's really cute, and she's painted it, and so I sort of went over it a little bit with more of the pen to bring it out. So I'm going to proceed to do some stitching. I wonder if this red is too red. It's pretty red. I just went to a class, that might work, and all my bits and pieces are all in here with threads and stuff. I'll show you. Haven't finished, but I was really happy. It's called Fabrication, and you know, you had to take a picture along, and I like irises, and so this is all done with, you know, my first attempt at trying to do, was it using a darning foot, and yeah, it was sort of like, you probably won't be able to see all of it, but I thought I was determined to get at least a couple of these on. I'm not going to do that many. So all the stems, I think, will have an iris on them, and these ones are at the foreground, so they're a bit bigger, so I'm going to have to do these tiny little pieces. So yeah, really happy. And then you frame it with how it turned out. But I mean, I'm like, oh good lord, look at the sewing. Oh, because it hasn't been hand done, and it is great because you can, you know, you hold the machine and you just move it around. It's really awesome. But yeah, I'm happy with how that looks so far. So I'll keep you posted. It's going to be a work in progress. All these lavender and everything, I will just do a whole heap of French knots and all that kind of stuff to bring it out, and that'll go on my wall. So there you go, a little bit extra side kit stuff. So no, I wonder if I've got, I'm just trying to see in my reds. That might work. That's from my forage. That might work too. My forage stuff. What about these? Try these. I do have that somewhere floating around. I do have some of this. Oh, there we go. Get out your reds. A little bit of green. My place is such a mess. It's because I am waiting. My son has moved out, but I am still not in my bungalow. Still in the kitchen with, let's say, crap everywhere, but it's not crap. My craft. Yeah, still in my kitchen and not being able to have the space I need. Okay, got enough bits and pieces out. I think I should be able to work with those. Let's have a look if there's anything in here. No, there's definitely some greens. There's that green. Love that green thread. So, and then there's the white for the Santa's beard. I do have a white that is not so white. It's like a creamy white. The new one which I bought. I wonder if it is that one. No. Okay, enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because she sort of painted it, I'm not sure whether I'm going to continue doing any painting or just stitch around the bits and pieces, which is something that I might do. So for starters, getting out all this red, maybe I should do the brown. Get brown on there. Actually, there might be some here. No, I've got bits and pieces of stuff everywhere. Oh, here's some red. There we go. I might use that one. It's a toss up between that one and that one. So, okay, let's get a bit of brown and I'll just sit and yap with you while I do a bit of stitching. And just sort of colour in some bits and stitch in others. So what I'll do is I'll just start off here and I'm going to do a stem stitch, which usually ends up being a little thicker, so that'll get done pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm glad I'm actually doing this work. I'll have to show my friend next time I go over to her place. It had that backing stuff on there and I tried getting it off and it didn't come off. I'm like, oh well, adds a bit of element to it. So, okay, go underneath. So, my Santa was already made for me, which is good. Yeah, I did have other ideas of using other ones, but I really am glad that I'm going to be using this one. It is so cute. Can't go past it. Okay. And then I'll go around the Christmas tree. Funnily enough, I actually do have a Christmas tree that looks a lot like that, because it's got it's got blocks of wood. It's not green, and then it's got little hooks on there, and I I do bring it out every Christmas. It's very cute, and little baubles on there. I like having that rusticy, cute little sort of country type of Christmas stuff, which this is. And so she's had it for a while. It sort of reminds me of, you know, the stuff that was out in the early 2000s, that country style stuff. Now, while I'm there with the brown, I'm thinking, do I do Mr. Reindeer's ears? I was going to do his nose brown, but probably do that black, or yeah, maybe brown might be better. Jeez. So as quick as that, we've got the Christmas tree thing done. And it's not real straight, but I think by the time you sew everything else on there, it might not look as crooked. Okay, so what I'll do with this, might just do like a little back stitch, which I'm probably going to do in quite a bit of it, whether I leave it in that colour or not, or like, you know, stitch it in. I might stitch in like bits and pieces, if you know what I mean. Obviously when she did that it was bleeding a little bit, so I'll try and go over it. Sounds really funny, bleeding as in the paint, which is pretty ironic considering it's red paint. Okay. With his hat, I think there's probably too much of the red in there, so I probably will find that off-white, like it's white but it's an off-white, and I might satin stitching his hat, but I'll go around it first with a like a backing stitch or something. Ow, pricked my finger. So this is pretty much going to be just a whole heap of little stitching. Okay. And might start on the other side. A bit short. May not be enough. I'll give it a go. Okay. So how are we all going? Excited that we're coming to the last few pages, and we'll see our lovely journals or wall hangings, whatever we're turning these into, come together. I think it's something that we may get more benefit out of next year than this year, but it'll be you know, at least ready. Like, I'm glad that Sarah said she was going to do the second prompt a little bit earlier, so that way it might be done, you know, and we can get some use out of it for this Christmas, which is good. Okay, This one's got a few little more antlers, which is not a bad thing. You want it to be a little bit different to the other one. Oh, we're getting close. I think I might have to finish up when I go down here. Don't know if you're like me, you want to determined to use the rest of the thread. I think I will stop it. I've got plenty. It's not like I haven't got enough. Okay, now okay, I am going to see if I can find that new white. Is it this one? No, 6. I wonder where it is. Only just recently have done it. Where's the other one? No. Sorry guys. Well, oh, there's a few more reds in this lot. Oh, avalanche. Oh, good Lord. If you can see me, you'd be killing yourself laughing. Oh, I so need to have my room done. Okay. Because everything is just piling up around me. Things that I'm working on. Okay. No, you stay there. Okay. There's some reds. That might be the right colour red. We'll have a look. Still can't find that white. No, sorry guys. Okay. Oh, upside down. I'll see whether I'm still in camera. Yes, I am. It's a bit orangey. It's a bit rusty. No, I think I'm going to stick with this darker one. Okay, well I'll finish doing the rest of that reindeer ear a little bit later. And I think this might be the one. So what I'll do, I'll grab a bit of white. So I'm going to stitch around. We'll start here. Just so I've got myself a bit of a border. I don't know if you can hear my heater in the background. I mean, we're in November, for goodness sake. You know, it has been the worst spring ever. Windy, raining, floods. I can count on one hand the nice days. We had a nice day yesterday. I think that was it. That was spring. It's been shocking. So, I mean, you don't mind if it's you know, not hot. You don't want it to be hot. I mean, just, you know, spring's supposed to be nice weather. You know, 21 degrees, sunny, all the flowers are out. You know, the flowers are all coming out, but then the petals are getting blown away because it's been so windy, and then a lot of places have had like major floods. I was complaining about the weather, I suppose. So I don't know. what the summer's going to be like. Spring's anything to go by. We usually get fairly warm summer. Okay, that will give me a bit of a border, and I might do his beard and eyebrows in a grey, so that differentiates from his hat, and you know, it's not just all white. So because sort of do it in a sort of like a lighter grey. Okay, then see something like this, I will like go around, and then I'm going to actually colour it in, whereas his beard and all that kind of stuff I might just do around the outside, and then, you know, do a few bits and pieces. I could probably even do a bit of a seed stitch maybe, I don't know, but not completely do everything, just suggest it. Whereas this I think needs to be covered in, so I've stitched around, which gives me a bit of a guideline, and I'm going to make sure that I go over that, right, go back in through here. I don't want to pull it too tight, that's a real danger with satin stitch. You can pull it too tight and then the rest of the work is all puckered and gathered. Okay. There we go. That's going to cover that red. And make it look cute. So, a bit like Sarah in the way that when you're busy stitching, you just concentrate and sometimes you get quiet. So, when you're trying to figure out what you're going to be doing. I need to pull that last one a little bit firmer. It seems to be sticking out. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, don't forget, if you've got any suggestions about what I turn this into, you can leave a comment below. That would be good, because yeah, it's not, and besides, you know, it's going to be a candy cane. You make it red and white, not blue and white. I had to make it to fit my book size, so that's why it got cut off. So, okay, getting there. I might even just pause that. You don't want to be sitting there watching me do all that. And then I think the star probably needs to be coloured in, or I can do a sequence. That might be nice, like I'll sort of go around the outside and then I'll have a sequence in the middle with the bead. That might be nice, sort of really a bit blingy. I might just do a lot of like straight stitches in the white with that, and then I'll do the same. I'll fill in this and I'll fill in that in the white, So and come back with her hair. I will colour in her the nose. Okay, I'm getting there. I'll just pause it because it's already 25 minutes. Okay, I'm back again. I just sort of did a bit of stitching in the background. So I finished stitching that, and then I just did a stem stitch on the hat to give it a bit of a fuller. And it was a variegated, and it's just as well. It just started going that darker bit underneath there, which is good because it's like shading. Stitched around that and just did tiny little seed stitches in there. So what I'm going to do now, rather than, I thought I'm not going to do a yellow star because I want it to match with the sequence. So I'm just going to put that in there like that and get myself a big bauble. And sort of go through that and maybe back through again. And hold it on the other side as well. You sort of want it to stay down, don't you? Well, there you go. I had the sequences and stuff out because I was using them on the Christmas trees that I was sewing with my mushroom pattern. So there we go. Hopefully that's enough to hold it down and give us a little bit of a bling. Actually, maybe could probably do it the third time. Maybe not. Not with that needle anyway. Got one that's a little bit smaller. Yep. And what I might do with the stars on the bottom is I might fill one in and then maybe do another one with a bit of sequence like here. Okay, just so it looks more even. There we go. And go down again. Yep. Not always easy. There we go. And they all seem to be gathering over to one side. I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm such a perfectionist, I drive myself crazy. Okay, now just tie that off. Might do a double knot. Don't want it going anywhere. And proceed to sew. Might give that a bit of an iron. I'll probably put that on after. I like that Merry Christmas. After I've sewn that, and I will go around the outside, allowing that to be all fluffy. I think it's looking good. There we go. So yeah, I can't have you sitting there watching me do every little bit, so I'll probably go around the rings in the white and maybe just a few lines and just colour it in. And for the next video that I you know, like I show you with the next prompt, like I did with the bird, I will show you the finished part of this, and it'll be on the Facebook page anyway once I'm done. Okay guys, well thank you very much for indulging me and sitting with me while I'm doing this, and if you can give me some ideas on what to use that for, that'd be great. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.